Before we begin, I want to make one thing very clear. What you are about to hear is my personal reflection as a Christian. This is not a doctrine, not a command, and not a universal rule. It is simply how I interpret the Bible, how I reflect on money, and how I believe a Christian should think about wealth, based on Scripture and personal understanding. When I speak here, I speak as a person of faith, offering a perspective, not absolute truth. Money is one of the most misunderstood topics in Christianity. Some believe money is evil. Others believe money is proof of God's favor. But when we actually read the Bible carefully, we discover something much deeper and more balanced. The Bible does not say that money itself is evil. In 1 Timothy 6:10, Scripture says, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil." Notice the wording. It is the love of money, not money itself, that becomes dangerous. From my perspective as a Christian, this changes everything. Money is not the problem. The place money occupies in the heart is the real issue. Jesus spoke about money more often than many people realize, not because he wanted people to be poor, but because he understood how easily money can become a master. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 24, Jesus says, "No one can serve two masters. You cannot serve both God and money." For me, this verse is not about income level. It is about loyalty. It asks a simple but uncomfortable question. Who controls your decisions, God or money? From my personal interpretation, a Christian should see money as a tool, not an identity. Money should serve a purpose. It should never define who we are. The Bible presents a concept called stewardship. In Luke chapter 16, verse 11, Jesus says, "If you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches?" This suggests that money is something entrusted to us, not something we truly own. We manage it, we don't worship it. Another verse that strongly shapes my understanding is Proverbs 22, verse 7. "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender." From my reflection, this verse is not condemning wealth. It is warning about dependency and loss of freedom. This is why, in my opinion, a Christian should approach money with wisdom, discipline, and long-term thinking. Not impulsiveness, not debt-driven consumption, not status-seeking. The Bible also encourages honest work and responsibility. In 2 Thessalonians 3:10, it says, "The one who is unwilling to work shall not eat." To me, this shows that faith and responsibility walk together. Trusting God does not mean abandoning effort. It means working with integrity while keeping the heart aligned with God. At this point, an important balance must be made. The Bible never glorifies greed, but it also does not glorify irresponsibility or laziness. In Proverbs 13:11 we read, "Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow." From my perspective, this supports patience, discipline, and consistency, values that align both with faith and with wisdom. So, how should a Christian use money? From my reflection so far, money should be earned honestly, money should be managed wisely, money should be kept in its proper place, never above God, never above values, never above people. But this raises a deeper question, one that we will explore next. What does the Bible say about wealth, generosity, and purpose? That is where this reflection continues. Continuing this reflection, I want to reaffirm something important. What follows is still my personal interpretation as a Christian. It is not a rule for everyone, but a perspective shaped by Scripture, reason, and faith.
Now that we understand money as a tool and stewardship as a responsibility, the next question becomes unavoidable. What is money for, according to the Bible? One of the clearest biblical principles about money is generosity. In 2 Corinthians 9:6, Scripture says, "Whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously." From my understanding, this verse is not about transactions with God. It is about the posture of the heart. Generosity is not meant to manipulate blessings. It is meant to reflect trust. A Christian, in my view, should give not out of fear, guilt, or pressure, but out of gratitude and responsibility. Jesus reinforces this idea in Acts 20:35. It is more blessed to give than to receive. This does not mean receiving is wrong. It means giving shapes the soul in a way accumulation never can. From my reflection, money should flow, not stagnate in selfishness, nor disappear through irresponsibility. The Bible also speaks about contentment, which I believe is essential in any discussion about wealth. In Hebrews 13:5, it says, "Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have." Contentment does not mean lack of ambition. It means freedom from constant dissatisfaction. In my opinion, a Christian should pursue growth, improvement, and provision, but without turning comparison into a prison. One of the strongest warnings Jesus gives about money is found in Luke 12:15. "Watch out! Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." This verse deeply shapes how I think about success. Success, from a Christian perspective, is not measured only by numbers, but by alignment. Alignment between faith, values, and actions. The Bible does not condemn wealth, but it constantly warns about attachment. In Matthew 19:23, Jesus says, "It is hard for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of heaven." From my understanding, this difficulty is not caused by wealth itself, but by dependence on it. When money becomes security, identity, or ultimate purpose, faith quietly fades. Another essential principle is planning and wisdom. In Proverbs 21:5 we read, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." This verse, in my view, supports careful thinking, patience, and long-term vision, qualities that align perfectly with a disciplined Christian mindset. Faith is not opposed to planning. Faith gives planning meaning. So how should a Christian use money according to the Bible? From my personal reflection, money should support life, not replace faith. Money should enable generosity, not ego. Money should serve purpose, not control identity. A Christian should strive to earn honestly, spend wisely, save responsibly, give generously, and remain inwardly free. In the end, money is temporary. Values are not. As Matthew 6:19-20 reminds us, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven." From my understanding, this is not a call to neglect material life, but a call to put everything in the right order. Faith first, values above possessions, purpose above profit. That is the mindset of a Christian. At least that's how I see it.